Hi, my name is Jamie Goodell with Century Martial Arts. What you're about to watch is going to be a video that's going to be difficult to watch for many of you. This is an emotional story about a man named Justin Wren, and it's a very true story as he was bullied for many years as a child. Please join me in watching this video.
My name is Justin Wren. I'm a professional mixed martial arts fighter, a UFC veteran on the Ultimate Fighter TV show. Now I fight for Bellator MMA on Spike TV. I'm also the founder of Fight for the Forgotten, an initiative under Water4, where we do land, water, and food initiatives for the Mbuti Pygmies in eastern Congo. And we drill a lot of water wells trying to knock out the water crisis and also fight modern day slavery. I would say my first experience with bullying, being a victim to bullying, it was very present in the school that I went to, but it was in third grade, and it was actually my first day of school. And one of the kids, the notorious bullies at that school that continued all throughout elementary and middle school, decided to jump me on the playground and just jumped on my back and started grabbing me around the neck and punching me in the back of the head. And the only thing I could do was just kind of bend over, and he kind of fell off, and then the teacher split us up and we both got punished. And there was a no tolerance rule. And I get it. You shouldn't be fighting in school, but yeah, that was the start of everything, because I was seen as weaker than the rest of the kids, and so him and his crew just decided to start bullying me from third grade all the way through eighth grade when I finally left the school, because of the bullying got so bad. My parents had no other choice but to pull me out of the school and transfer me into another. It happened quite often where I'd sit at the lunch table all by myself. It was very common to get hit in the back of the head with different kinds of food and pieces of pizza and chicken nuggets, and also just pelted in the back of the head with chocolate milk spit wads. It was embarrassing. You felt like you weren't as good as the rest of the kids. You were told, or I was told, you're no good. I remember in seventh grade, in Texas at least, we have something called homecoming mums, and so everyone celebrates homecoming, but we do the big garters and the homecoming mums, and they'll literally have some teddy bears in it, or your school mascot, and these streamers with the literal bells and whistles, and says your team and who you're against that year and the year it is, and yeah, during the game you can shake the bell and blow the whistles and get all excited. And it's crazy how expensive they are, but I remember saving up my allowance and asking a girl to homecoming with me that I was just sure she was going to say no, but she said yes, and that excited me. And so with that, I used my allowance to buy the best possible mum for her to go to the game with me, and her name was Jessica. And so taking her with me to the game, halftime comes around, first quarter, we're winning, I remember that. And it's the high school game, and we're in middle school, and we have our own middle school section, and it was at the very back right. And halftime happened, and I remember this bully that was just the notorious bully. His name was Justin, and he started walking up to us. My name's Justin too, and so he walked right up to Jessica and put his arm out, and she put her arm around his arm. And he reached over and said, "Hey, thanks for taking care of her," and pulled out the kind of streamer that said Justin and Jessica and the year. And I'm like, "What's going on?" He goes, "You didn't think she would really come with you, did you?" And I was like, "What?" I was just confused. But all my classmates, all my peers were now looking up at me, and they began to laugh. And he started to walk down the bleachers with her, and she walked off, and everyone just laughed, and I was laughed out of the football game during halftime. It seems like something that is from a movie, or that could be made up, but I know through sharing the story just a few times, hearing other kids that are dealing with the same exact thing, very similar stories, maybe not the same, but very similar, where they've been singled out in front of their entire school, or their entire class at least, or in the locker room, or in the lunchroom, just being picked on in the same way. And it breaks my heart seeing that these kids are still going through it, and even worse than what I've ever gone through, because the thing about it today is that bullying is so real and in your face. I mean, you can't turn it off. You can't disconnect. Like whenever I was in school, going home at 3 o'clock, the bullying's done for the day. But now it can not just follow you home, it can get more and more intense because the kids aren't in class, they're on their phones and they're on the internet, and they're just, that can be whenever it, comes out in full attack mode. And it hurts knowing that's what kids are going through now. And so what I would say is that you got to find a safe place, a safe person that you can talk to. For me, that was in the wrestling room. That was in martial arts. That was having a coach invest in my life, be a mentor, speak life over me, encouragement. And yeah, it really started to change my life for the better. And I think kids need to know that your parents want to listen. An uncle or an aunt wants to listen, or a brother or a sister or a cousin or a grandma or grandpa wants to listen. And so to speak up and to not just hold it in, because when you hold it in, it just grows. You keep it in the darkness, and in dark, like that's where mold and fungus and bacteria that thrives. And so like this depression can just thrive in the dark, and a self-hatred can thrive in the dark, but bringing it into the light, just letting one other person know, another classmate that understands, a teacher that understands, a counselor, a martial arts teacher, an instructor, a black belt, a brown belt, a purple belt, like someone that's a little bit above, that's been through some stuff, like they will understand and they'll listen. They'll give you an ear. And if someone doesn't on the first try them a second time or try someone else, but don't keep it in. Because when you keep it in, like depression sets in. The biggest battle of my life was depression. It almost took my life. I almost ended my own life. I attempted suicide because I kept it in. I mean, I'm talking right now and sharing this story, but it was so hard to ever open up for the first time. But whenever I finally did, it was such a healing moment in my life and in my heart, my soul, and it was because I had a safe place, a safe person to open up to, and that was a coach, a mentor in my life. And the thing that I've realized, and I hope that any martial arts instructor watching this right now knows, is that what you're doing truly matters. And even if you don't see it right now, I promise you, it can change a life, it can save a life, it can at least change the trajectory, the direction of the kid's life. It was a 180-degree turn for me when I found martial arts, 100%.
Maybe the toughest part of that video is knowing that it's real. And right now in your schools, you have a student on your mat, most likely, that's facing that every day, that goes home every day in fear or goes back to school every day in fear. We have a call as martial artists to be better than that, to be leaders, to be a safe place. I encourage you to talk to each of your students about bullying. We encourage you to watch this video with them. And we encourage you to invite your students, to invite friends of theirs that they know are being bullied, to come take a free lesson with you. You're the heroes. You're the ones on the front lines, and you're the ones that make differences. Let's not forget about bullying. Let's not forget that we have a call to it. Thank you so much for the work you already do and for the work you're going to do.